Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for calling this hearing. Thanks again to the witnesses for being here. I want to start with you, Mr. O'Brien, but first let's just do a little bit of context. We are here to diagnose the issue. I think that's diagnose the problem. That's the title of the hearing. So let's just take a look at what the problem is that's staring us right in the face, which is the rise of these giant corporations like Amazon, for example. The biggest corporations in the history of America, the biggest corporations in the history of the world, the richest corporations in the history of the world, they're making money like we've never seen before, but they don't want to pay their workers. A lot of times, they don't even want to have workers. They don't want to have American workers. Look at Amazon. Here's their net sales and net income. In 2024, Amazon's net sales topped $600 billion, $637 billion to be exact. Their net income doubled from 2023 to 2024. Doubled. Their CEO is getting paid, let me make sure I get this right, in 2024, Amazon's president earned $40.1 million in total compensation. 40.1. The previous year, he'd earned merely 29.2. I mean, that's an unbelievable, that's great work if you can get it. That's an unbelievable raise. Only problem is, according to their own financial disclosures, Amazon's average worker, average employee worldwide is making $37,181. $37,181. So that's a C-suite to employee ratio of 1,078 to 1. And meanwhile, these guys are fighting you, Mr. O'Brien, every step of the way as you try to get some basic representation for their workers, for their drivers. Tell us about what you've been facing from this company.
I'll get this right at one point. Amazon is probably the largest violator of the NLRA right now. And they have grown significantly, to your point. They focus on 150% turnover ratio in their workforce. They focus on distressed communities. And the number one violator of OSHA, they've got the most violations last time we checked. Now, we have a model that's a similar company that employs similar workforce at United Parcel Service, 340,000 Teamsters that are part-time and full-time. Those part-timers earn full-time benefits, health and welfare and pension. They earn wage increases guaranteed every year. They earn a livable wage. And most importantly, they have a path to a full-time career that, on the average, the UPS full-time employee makes about $140,000 per year for doing the same business, and UPS is a very profitable business.
Boy, you talk about $140,000 in change. You talk about that versus $37,000. I'm just thinking back to your reference to rerum novarum, the dignity of the individual. I mean, how are you supposed to raise a family on $37,000? The difference between that and what you've been able to secure at UPS is incredible. Let me just ask you this. Amazon is also one of the biggest offenders when it comes to not negotiating with workers who've decided to unionize. You mentioned Staten Island. I think they're still waiting for a first.
Yeah, Staten Island was organized in 2022 under the ALU. It took a certain amount of time to get certified. Once certified, the intent is to sit down and bargain a contract. We actually represent those workers now. In 3 years, we have not been able to get them to a table. It's been stall tactics, obviously challenging the constitutionality of the NLRA, but also filing charges at the NLRA, so the NLRB, so they are, contradicting themselves every turn of the way just to use union avoidance. And I believe there was a article in the Economic Policy Institute, which was dead on, that stated, Amazon has zero intention of engaging in real good faith collective bargaining with representatives of Staten Island workers. In fact, their business model, which relies on high worker turnover and avoiding responsibility for their employees, is designed to make union organizing nearly impossible.
In that context, tell us why the Faster Labor Contracts Act is so important. Important to put a shot clock on these big corporations so they can't just say, well, you voted to unionize. Good luck to you. We're never, ever going to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, the Faster Labor Contracts Act has timelines. It has consequences for bad behavior. And I think it's important that if and when this Faster Labor Contracts Act is passed, bad actors like Amazon will be forced to the table, will be forced to negotiate, and will have to agree to a first-time contract without retaliating, against the employees, and you will see a continued workforce that has a future under this faster labor.
I just want to say this in conclusion, Mr. Chairman. Many folks on our side of the aisle talk about their concern about woke corporations, and I'm worried about woke corporations too. You want to make woke corporations a thing of the past? Make them accountable to the American worker. Empower the American worker. Give them a voice. That's the solution. Thank you, sir.